The day began like countless others, calm, unremarkable, flowing with the familiar rhythm I had come to expect over the years. Nothing seemed out of place until I noticed it. An envelope sat neatly on the kitchen counter, positioned so deliberately it felt as though it was waiting for me. My name stretched across the front in handwriting I knew instantly, his handwriting. Strong, precise, steady, a script that had never faltered. It wasn't just my name written there. It stared back at me like a sentence I wasn't prepared to confront. I tried to soothe myself with small explanations. Perhaps he had left early for work. Maybe he had stopped by his mother's house and scribbled a quick note, so I wouldn't worry. But the moment my fingers brushed against that envelope, a chill rooted itself inside me, sharp and heavy, curling deep in my stomach. The house no longer felt calm. It felt vacant, hollowed out. His shoes were gone from their usual spot near the door. Upstairs, the bed lay unmade. Little things, maybe, but together they whispered a truth I wanted desperately to ignore. My hands shook as I picked up the letter. I hadn't opened it yet, but dread pressed against me like a weight I couldn't carry. It felt as though I was standing at the edge of something irreversible, holding my breath before the fall. With trembling fingers, I slid my thumb under the flap and unfolded the paper inside. The very first words stole the air from my lungs. Goodbye, Emmer. Just 2 words, yet they struck with the force of a blow. The rest wasn't angry. There were no accusations, no cruelty, no venom. Instead, it read like a quiet confession, devastating in its honesty. But it wasn't his confession. It was mine. He knew. He had known for a long time. He wrote about that night. The night I came home reeking of another man's cologne, fumbling excuses about projects and deadlines that had never existed. He had seen through me instantly. And from that moment on, he noticed everything. The phone I kept locked. The way my gaze drifted away. Laughter that rang hollow. Showers taken in haste. Excuses stacked one after another. He had caught every detail, but he never confronted me. That silence was what shattered me most. He hadn't cornered me with demands or unleashed fury. Instead, he waited. He waited for me to return, to be honest, to step back into the marriage he still believed in. But I never did. I kept slipping further away, and he simply stood there, quiet, steady, watching me disappear. His letter was not steeped in bitterness, but in sorrow. He told me he loved me still, but to keep loving me meant erasing himself, and he couldn't survive that. He wrote that if we stayed together, we would eventually destroy each other. And in that moment, I saw clearly. I already had. I collapsed onto the kitchen floor, clutching the paper as sobs ripped through me. They came not only from guilt, but from grief. Grief for what I had lost, for what I had ruined beyond repair. He wasn't just my husband. He was the one who folded the laundry when I forgot it in the dryer. The one who rubbed my back when anxiety consumed me. The one who brewed my coffee exactly how I liked it every single morning. The one who kissed my forehead every night as though it were a sacred promise. I used to think he overlooked the little things, but he hadn't. He had seen everything. He had loved me in every way that mattered most. And I treated that love like it was permanent background music, always playing, always there until it stopped. Panic clawed at me. I called his phone again and again. Disconnected. I sent messages, emails, anything I could. I even drove to his office, only to be told he had taken indefinite leave. No forwarding address. No explanations. Just absence, solid and unyielding. That was when the truth finally settled in. This wasn't sudden. It wasn't one reckless night that pushed him away. Our unraveling had been happening for a long time. He had given me chance after chance to choose him again, and I never did. So he left, not out of anger, but out of heartbreak, out of dignity. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months. I wandered the house like a ghost. His absence lived everywhere, in the empty chair across from me at dinner, in the untouched side of the bed. In every moment, I was haunted by the lies I told instead of the truth. I replayed all the times I could have confessed, could have apologized, could have fought for us, but didn't. Now, I couldn't even say goodbye. Eventually, I heard through someone that he had moved to a quiet town, starting over. Rebuilding. He never spoke of me, never assigned blame. When people asked, he simply said things hadn't worked out. No harsh words, no anger, just an ending. I wrote to him once. I didn't beg. I didn't try to explain. I only told the truth, that I had been wrong, that I had loved him deeply, but I hadn't understood what love truly meant until it was too late, that I had destroyed something rare and irreplaceable because I had been blind. He never replied. I hadn't expected him to. His silence was answer enough. Our farewell had already been written, and I had already read it on the kitchen floor that morning. I still keep the letter folded in a drawer I rarely touch. Sometimes I forget it exists. Other times it calls to me like a ghost. And whenever I open it, I am reminded of the kind of love it spoke of. Not loud or flawless, but steady, quiet, unwavering. A love that doesn't demand recognition. A love you only find once in a lifetime. And I lost it.